Do you feel still to this day like you were targeted because of your fame and your political views?
Well, the Inspector General has determined that. The Inspector General there in Georgia, in their report, states
their exact words were, "We substantiate the Chrisleys' claims that they were unfairly targeted due to their celebrity status."
Wow. And that came from the Inspector General.
After all that has happened, Grace, I want to ask you, what has been the best thing that has happened since your parents have been back home? What's your favorite memory that you've made since they've been back?
It's really just being together. I mean, you take those times for granted when they are home. And then when you realize one day it could be there and the next day it's not, you know, it means just a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think, too, the first night he said, "I'm scared to go to sleep because I feel like I'm just going to wake up in the morning and they're not going to be here."
He came in, he said, "Can I sleep with you tonight?" I said, "You can."
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yeah. I think a lot of people wonder, what was that first night like for each of you to be in prison? I mean, to know all that had happened, and then this was your future for 7 and 10 years.
Right, yeah. I remember going in, and that night I was so angry with God, and that night when the lights went out, I literally cried myself to sleep, because it's the first time Drew and I had ever been away from each other since we had been married.
Wow.
I'd never not been in that house when my kids woke up in the morning or when they went to bed at night. And I just said, "God, why? I've tried to be a loyal and faithful servant. Why are you allowing this to happen? You know these things are not true." And in my dream, God came to me and he said that I have planted you where I need you, and when you leave, they will rise. I look back on that dream now, and I now understand when he said, "When you leave, they will rise," because they're rising through President Trump. So I am grateful for that. Even though it's been hard, and I have missed Julie every breath that I took and missed my children, I could at least talk to them. But when you're in prison and your spouse is in prison, you're not allowed to talk.
How long did you two go without speaking?
28 months.
28 months.
Tell me about the first time you saw each other.
It was surreal, but people have asked, was it weird? Was it awkward? It really wasn't.
So I think for me, I was never away from her because she was in my spirit the entire time. I thought of her every second of my day. And so when I hugged her the first time, it was like I was home in my heart spiritually. We have changed. Mm-hmm. And if we did not change in these 28 months, it would have been wasted. So I do believe that because of this, Savannah would have never truly stepped into her true self. To watch your daughter step on that stage at the RNC and to speak so well, and the level of pride that you have as a parent was never the television, it was that moment. Because I knew then I had raised a warrior.
Did you guys know how hard she was fighting for you?
You know, we went back to her house because we had sold ours when we left, and I was cleaning out her drawers and stuff, and I found all of these legal books that she had bought about prosecutorial misconduct and over-sentencing and the sentencing guidelines and what have you. And I literally just sat down on the floor and wept that my child would have to go through this to save me. Because, you know, as a parent, it's your job to save your child, not your child to save the parent.
And I think it was so much more. She not only was advocating, was out here doing everything she was doing, she was also raising 2 children. She was also being a parent.
Tell me about that as a
2
mom.
children.
You sent Savannah a Mother's Day card.
I did, because she was there when I couldn't be.
I know that you're probably both grateful for all she's done, but maybe the most important is being a mom too.
Absolutely.
How do you say thank you to someone who gives you your freedom back?
Would you be here today without your daughter?
No.
Absolutely not.
No. We would not be here first without God taking a hold of her life and guiding her footsteps. I look at that we stepped out of prison, we walked into a home, started filming immediately, and new cars were ordered, and we're looking for houses, and we're doing all the things that we need to be doing, but all of these men and women don't get to do that. When they come out, they don't have a home to go to. They don't have money to go buy food.
They don't have support.
They have no support. And we incarcerate more individuals in our country than anywhere else in the world, yet we have the highest recidivism rate. That should tell you that what we're doing is not working. There's no accountability for the $8.2 billion that's dumped into the Bureau of Prisons every year. Accountability is coming. So for all of my brothers that I left behind, I didn't leave you behind. I'm coming for you. It's just taking me a little bit longer to get to you.
It sounds like for both of you on the other side of this, you feel this responsibility now to ensure that the right steps are taken for the men and the women.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Who you were imprisoned with,
Yes.
right? Is
Absolutely. I have a dear friend in there who's 77 years old, and that unless God intervenes, she's going to die in there. I mean, she could be any of our grandmothers. I mean, and when I tell you, the best lady that you would ever meet. But not just that, there's so many young women who are young mothers who got these crazy sentences, never been in trouble in their life. I'm not walking away. That's something, a pledge that I've made to them and to myself.
And I call them my prison sons, you know, the young men that came in there. And I stay in touch with the ones that I've sent out of there before I left. And I have now gotten on the visitors list of the ones that I left behind, because those kids deserve a second chance. You know, you've got kids in prison for selling marijuana, but now it's almost legalized everywhere. But yet we don't make that retroactive for these young men. These young men still have a chance. They're in their 20s, 33 years old. Let them come home. Let them get on a job. Let them pay taxes. It is my job and it is my calling at this point, and it's been placed in my spirit that I am to help the men that I have left behind. Because I had not one negative interaction when I was in prison with any inmate. If a guy came in there and he didn't have food, everyone was bringing food and bringing it to him. If he didn't have clothes to put on, everyone was giving him a pair of sweats.
Absolutely.
So you had that brotherhood, and that brotherhood remains, and it's my job to honor that.
Savannah, to hear your parents say that they wouldn't be here without you, to hear your mom get emotional talking about how much it meant to her that you stepped into her role, how's this feel?
Honestly, I still feel like I'm coming down from all of it, because for the past 2.5 years, it's kind of funny because I'm like, lawyers, everyone's like, hey, Savannah, you need to now just relax, take some time off, but I'll be back in DC to help other individuals hopefully get home, to implement some things within the Bureau of Prisons. I reached out to the Chipotle CEO, who's opening 3,600 more stores. I'm like, let's hire men and women who are getting out of prison.
You got 160,000 men and women that you've locked up that would be more than willing to come and work during the day and go back at night. We don't have a lack of people that can work. We have a lack of people who have the ability to work.
Have you guys talked to President Trump?
We have not.
Actually, you have. Are you forgetting?
You did.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did.
You got out. So I FaceTimed Margot, and she goes, I'm actually with the president now. It was actually hilarious because he looks at him and he goes, you look good.
Todd, everybody says how great you look. You must have been doing something right.
The president said, Margot said, the president would like to speak to you. And when I saw him, all I could say was, thank you. You have reunited me with my family and you have saved us. So thank you.
Wow.
And you know, it's just so reassuring to know, because you know, when you vote for someone, you vote on what you know. We no longer have to vote on what we know. We know what we've lived, what we've experienced. And so for any person out there that's watching this show, that's watching our lives, and there's a lot, I would say to you that we bet on the right dog because he hunts. And we need to all come together in this country as a whole. And if we can do that, then we become not just in name only the most powerful nation on earth. We show you that we're the most powerful nation on earth because the power comes from the people.
You know, you guys have done a lot. You've been through a lot. What is next for the Chrisley family?
We're coming back to television.
Okay.
It's amazing that those that walked away from you are the first ones knocking at the door again. So we're coming back to television, and I think that we're heading back home. We're heading back to South Carolina, where we came from. And we're going to open a hotel there, and we're going to create a show around it, and we're going to hopefully be grandparents at some point.
No pressure.
And I think for me, mine's a little different. Mine is a little different. For me, I realize how important it is to have younger voices in the political world, because I truly do believe if we don't get younger individuals in, then the Republican Party could die. So my goal is to encourage individuals that are my age and younger to get out, vote. Your voice matters. I don't care if you are one person, one daughter, literally changed the world for my family.
I love it. Well, guys, really, congratulations
Thank you so
on coming
much.
home. I think so many people have been waiting to see this moment happen. No one more so than these two.
Yes.
But we're grateful that you took a little time for us. So thank you so much.
We're grateful
Thank
for
you for
and
having
your
me.
family. God bless you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.